Audio test. Audio test. Okay, sounds good. How's everyone doing today? Voyager, Chatimer, Alan, Arctic Chief, Martin, Warp Core, Voltic, David, Picard, Christopher. How's it going? Still farming for Isomags. Have 5, need 7. Yeah, the grind can be a bit rough for sure. So I'm gonna get the dailies out of the way first. And there's gonna be a little bit of gambling right off the bat here. I picked up a couple Delta packs off the exchange. I had some Borgdorf sell, and I also picked up a couple Elite Q R&D packs that have a chance to drop the Isomag components. I picked these up for less than 50% the cost of what an Isomag component cost, which is something you should always keep an eye out on. Like if you see these boxes at less than half the cost of an Isomag part, then it makes sense to try and buy them up to make a profit, because they have a 50% drop rate from the plectin and radiogenic particle boxes. So if you get them at less than half the cost of the Isomag components, then in theory you should be able to get more for your money. Still re-rolling Isomags, yeah. Warp Core, of course, you know, it's still. Yeah, economics. Yeah, well, you're also getting the other R&D components, though those aren't really worth that much. So get that out of the way. Okay. I'm gonna open 15 of these, and right now I have, like none of the advanced R&D stuff here, so let me open these first. Not much luck. Took 4 boxes for the first one. You see, it's all RNG. Like, there's a chance that every one of these could drop apart, and there's also a chance that, that I'd get screwed over. In this case, I did end up with a better, just slightly better than 50-50 chance, because I opened 15 and I got 8 of them. So, in this case, I did technically win out first, just buying those off the exchange on their own. Do a test, that might be a good idea, Mark Chief. I mean, I know that it's 50%. It's just that people are opening them one by one as they get them, and you get screwed doing that. Honestly, I think that you really need to you need to get a bunch of the Elite Q boxes together. Get like 10, 20 of them together before you go and rip them open. That's what I would do. Okay. So I got 8 out of the 15 there. Again, it's a 50-50 drop rate. People don't believe that, but I mean that's the reality. Now I've got 14 Delta packs here. I'm gonna rip these open. I picked these up at like 10 mil a pop, 10 to 11 mils. So if I get even like 1 purple crit off, I'll profit. If I get a couple rares, then I'm good. If I can get like a Delta Prime, that's mega profit, or a Scramble Fighters. But it gave me a point defense protocols. Yeah, I got screwed over trait wise. I got a ton of the blue crit doffs. Did I get like just straight up, like I got no purple doff at all out of that? Wow. Okay, the common doffs I always delete. I know that's gonna upset someone, but I just don't have the bandwidth to deal selling all the common doffs on the market or the uncommons. It's so much work to try and sell, all those doffs at like 30k a piece or whatever. I would rather just discard them and not deal with them. Fun fact, by the way, if you're on a recruit character and you're ever trying to like level up some of the duty officer commendations, the recruitment one is probably the easiest one that you can do, because you can literally buy trash duty officers and then just discard them. You see, when you discard a duty officer, it gives you dilithium and recruitment XP. You just have to make sure that the doffs are not in your overflow bag. That's the only thing. Man, if that trait had been one of the other ones, that would have been mega profit. Okay, let's see. How many EWOs did I get? 2? Oh, man. I got sort of screwed over there. Yeah, I got screwed over. It happens. You win some, you lose some. Let me see what these are going for. Okay, rare crit chance. I mean, if they actually sell for, I'm on the Klingon side. Remember that. So the prices are different than Fed. Um, so if these actually go for like, I'm gonna put them up for 45 a pop, and if they go, they go. If they don't, 5 0. Okay. So if those sell, then I mean that's most of the money back. Isomag's price is dropping. Yeah, it's because the promo event. The promo event massively flooded the market. Let me move my chat somewhere a bit more visible for me. Let's move this over here. I know this is random, but by chance, did any of you manage to take advantage of the RAM screw up on Newegg last night? I don't know if any of you had even seen this, but um, Newegg screwed up the pricing on all the team group RAM on their site, and like everything was $53 a kit. It was crazy. Now it's just a question to see if they actually fulfill it or if they cancel all of the orders. I picked up 2 of the 6,000 DDR5 CL30 kits because I figure if I do a DDR5 or if I do an AM5 build eventually, having those on hand would be pretty damn nice. So that's like less than half of what they normally cost on their own. So hopefully they go through and actually fulfill it. Another thing I do want to mention here, and obviously I have a different point of view as someone that benefits from revenue on YouTube and all that, but um, YouTube is apparently going to be pushing some anti-ad blocker stuff. There's apparently still ways to work around it, but YouTube is going to start cracking down on ad blockers a bit more aggressively moving forward. And I will just mention that if you don't like the ads on YouTube and you want to remove them on all platforms, YouTube Premium is $12 a month, and that will remove ads for you on YouTube completely. And it also helps out the any creators you watch much more than traditional ad revenue. So I just figured I would mention that. But there are workarounds if you do run into this issue. I'll put this link in chat if you are wanting to look into the ad blocker stuff a bit more. But YouTube is cracking down on this stuff, and I just thought I'd mention it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know how far they're going to go with it, but if it does go super far, just know YouTube Premium is something that would allow you to bypass it. And as I said, YouTube Premium does help content creators out like myself quite a bit, so I'm mentioning it for selfish reasons. Um, Worst 20 key box open today. I made 10 cents on the dollar. Yeah, the opening keys can be rough. General Spinobi, how's it going? Wizard Girly, you're running 6 Isomags on the Connie 3? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Isomags are really good. It's just a question of like how much of a difference is there for people. 288 rerolls? Wow. Spider, you got screwed over. Let's see. Yeah, I think I heard that Argentina has it really cheap too. How many YouTube premiums do you have listed on the exchange right now, Spencer? Not enough. Not enough. Okay. That's what I'm gonna be doing today, Trekcraft. So the ship I'm gonna be using to test things on is going to be the Theseus. I opened a couple lockboxes yesterday and I did get lucky and I got a T6 ship box, so I did pick up the Theseus. Again, the Theseus I don't think is really worth it. It should have been a C-store ship. The accessories on it are sort of a meme, especially when you compare them to like the summer event, console and trait. Like this is 20% Cat 1 beam weapon damage, and then you look at the Hesperian console and that's 20% Cat 2 for a bunch of different things. Yeah, well there's also some cases like for example with the Vodwar Juggernaut. I think even on a ship like that, you'd want to go with the Isomags. Like if you have as many engineering console slots as you have tactical, then the Isomags mathematically look like they're probably going to make sense. If you have one less engineering console than tactical, it's probably a bit more questionable. Still Better has done some math on this, but the issue that they ran into is with their testing, with their calculations on Trinity, that's not factoring in experimental weapons. And there are, if you're on a ship like the Theseus or like the Delkina, your experimental weapons can do quite a bit. The plasma bombardier that I've been running on all my plasma builds recently, that thing from the Gorn Hunter, that's pretty damn good. Like this is the most, like when I take this into ISC, it's the most DPS I've gotten out of any experimental weapon. In lower difficulty stuff, the Salton still I think is doing better, but in that, like the type of content I play, that this thing's doing a bit, and it's boosted by weapon power. So is that plasma trait. So it makes sense to go with the isomags, even if there's just that one console deficit. Oh, what's 46 sold? As it's about time for some more gambling. Also, if people want to keep posting duty officer packs to the exchange at 20C, per, I very much like that. Need to grab these parts. I'm gonna craft some isomags here quick. What's the over under on isomags if your resting crit chance is around 50%? It depends on your console slots. Wizard Girly, that's terrible. You've hurt me. Okay, where's the isomag parts? I could have sworn I just moved them over. I hate that all these icons are the same. Like, how did they screw that up? Like, I'm trying to, I don't want to sound like a dick about it, but before this recent patch, the ISO mags and all the advanced console components, like, they had different visuals. And now after the update, the visuals of these things are all the same. Like, you can't tell them apart just looking at them. Like the original icons they had, I get, were just like reuses of some of the existing, materials, but they literally all are the same now. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm gonna zoom in here, and I want you guys to tell me, which is which. Obviously, this is the battery one. We know that. But when you're looking at the fragments, they're all the same. When you're looking at the cores, they're all the same. At least you can get the psi mods on the science consoles again? Yes, indeed. Paul, when you're grinding for the isomags, what I suggested earlier is definitely something I would consider. Get a couple of the elite Q boxes first, and then open them all in a large batch. Don't open them one by one. I find that I have more success opening them in a large batch. Okay, I got 200 million EC. You know, I could be smart and, you know, save it, but you guys know me. So it's time to get a couple keys, right? Man, this mail experience. Cryptic is really great at quality of life. Like, you know, the fact that this stuff has lasted as long as it has with the exchange just really goes to show just how little they play their own game and engage with this stuff, because the experience of using the exchange is so absurdly bad that you know that if one of them was actually playing this game, they would have dealt with it one time and it would have been fixed the next patch. Like the fact that it is still here in this form really just shows their lack of care. General Spinobi, I haven't heard anything yet, but I'd very much like to see that. To avoid confusion. Yeah, Grim, I know. Slang, thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. Gonna go for I'm gonna open 8 Safe Galaxy, 8 Borg, and 8 Infinity. Um well Clone 87, they also drop from Infinity R&D promo packs. I believe game, come on. Oh, I got a ship. If only it was a 6 instead of a 5. Okay, did I get screwed over with the Borgdolf or did I win? Let's see. 21? Um, I don't remember what 21s are going for. I see it. More Lobby for the Lobby stockpile. Flying, thank you. Yeah, T5. Billy, how's it going? You meant for completing the TFO? Yeah. I don't know. Is there any like organized groups or like channels or whatever on console to like try and get organized teams? Yeah, I don't get how they haven't just put in a take all items on the exchange. I legitimately I don't understand. Okay. Chili, how's it going? Okay. I need to go do the summer daily now. Actually, let me see what that 21's worth. I don't think 21 was going for too much. But let me just double check. 21. Yeah, 80, like 80 mil. I think one of those is actually mine right now, so I'm just not going to post that one. It's dance off time. Get over here. Is it? I don't normally do the you know, the dance stuff on the summer map. I usually just do the flying high thing. I actually, as weird as this may sound, and some of you are probably going to disapprove, I actually I don't really care for most of the activities on the Ryza map. I usually just do flying high and then I'm back off the map. Waldo, how's it going? You said it's almost dance off time? Oh, this is oh yeah, look at this. Peak STO performance. Oh yeah, look at this, just rubber band. It's not even my internet, it's just it's the garbage servers this game has. Yeah, I mean I'm here. And as always, when you're doing the dance off stuff, you gotta make sure to In your emote window. It'll save you a lot of trouble. Pin that emote window, move it down to dances, and there you go. There's no lagging still. What are you talking about? Oh. Choo choo dance? The hell is that? Mix, okay.
Just dance.
I don't even see this one. I see, I feel like
Do the leg kick.
there we go. There's leg kick. Yeah, got it. I don't do this stuff.
Do the sidestep.
I legitimately I don't do this stuff most of the time. I know this is like dead easy. It's just to me the flying high is a lot easier.
Do the snake. Just dance.
Yeah, flying high is easy and fast. This is...
Dance club style.
You see, the thing is, I don't care about the low no favors. If I want those, I just buy them off the exchange.
Do the running man.
You guys wanted me to. How long do you have to do this?
Do the leg kick.
Like, this is already... I could have done flying high already. Short, how's it going? About 10 minutes?
Do the robot.
You're telling me I gotta spend the next 7 minutes doing this?
Raise the roof.
Is that what I'm hearing? What a joke.
Do the robot.
You can bail, you already got a choo-choo? I don't have my daily progress, though.
Do the robot.
Penalty for opening lockboxes. I have to do the whole
Do the leg
bit?
kick.
I mean, yeah, I think this is stupid. Okay, I'm already bored out of my mind doing that. I'm running. We're doing flying high. I'm sorry. I'll be done before, like, everyone else there's
Look for the course.
anywhere close. I can't do that. Like, that's just... No offense to anyone that likes that. Just, to me, it's just stupid to do for 10 minutes. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend anyone. Yeah, it's basically the way I look at it is I was already tired of the summer event by the time I loaded into the map the first time. I'm going to get canceled. Oh, I know. Strongly worded letter. Oh no.
You've circled the peak.
I
Give you a great view of most of this island.
when I hear that I'm going to be getting a strongly worded letter, that does worry me because some of the things people send me, man, that is it's some of the things people send me, like I don't even know how to respond sometimes. Is Whitmer back?
The land bridges are actually a natural feature. No geoengineering involved.
Have I ever gotten Spencer is bad? Oh yeah. Yeah, of course.
I hope. Get up
Look,
there
that took like 2 minutes to do. Just respond as I always do. Terrible. Oh, I don't doubt it, Mark the Chief. I don't doubt it at all. Okay, time to set up the Theseus. Now, I have a few different ways that I can go about this. I can just set it up like I've set up every other recent um CSV build I've done and just go like plasma because I think plasma's good right now. Um do I have the stuff for phaser? Technically, yes. I could do phaser. Suspicious that the land bridges aren't natural? Oh no. Is the Theseus's experimental weapon any good? I haven't tested it at all yet. I literally got the ship yesterday, and I set up the bridge officer layout. Um, again, like I think I said in the stats breakdown that the layout's not exactly optimal. This lieutenant commander should have been one of these lieutenant commanders should have been a universal. To be completely honest. Like, I would rather have had this as a universal just so I could shift it around if I wanted. Yeah, you can. You can do 5 uncons on it. I'm gonna run Photonic Officer just for some cooldown redundancy. And I'm so really my uncon situation right now is Gravwell, Tractor Beam, and Chronometric Inversion Field. I want to run recursive. Brandon, I'm glad to help. And as always too, if anyone here ever has any builds they're working on and they need some other ideas, make sure to always check out the builds Discord. The builds Discord has a lot of different channels in it. I know it can be a bit overwhelming, but there are some really neat channels to look at a variety of different builds. Like if you want to look at some EPG builds, you can see a variety of builds that people have already put up. Some of them are going to be work in progress, and some of them are, going to be capable of doing like solo ISE. So that there's lots of builds that you can pull ideas from, which is always very nice. Let me show the Theseus's experimental weapon and talk about that here quick. Also, I have reported this. I don't know if it's intended or not, but the experimental weapon off the Theseus has the same issue that the the new narrow phaser beams had, in which it has unrollable modifiers. So here is the experimental weapon, and I'll let you guys look at this while I hit something in O-Game real quick. Any more information from Cryptic on changing the exchange back? No, I haven't heard a thing. I've tried, my communication with Cryptic is very little. For full transparency, like I've tried messaging Kale in the past, and I literally have never gotten a response. Um, so I don't really have any like direct line of communication to them. Like the only person there that I can reach out to is usually like Cryan, and Cryan's just a QA person, so I can say, hey, are you aware of a bug with this? Like, but with Cryptic, there is no direct line of communication between the CCs and the devs like you would have in other games. To be honest, in general, the impression that I have, and I think a few other CCs have, is they they just don't like most of the CCs, and that's why they just don't interact with them. Um, do I know if the latest Civilization console in the world, Razer, has been buffed? From what I know, it's still not good. CC is content creators. Put up my CSV phaser inquiry on there a couple days ago. Yeah, this is the experimental weapon off the Theseus that I've had up. Does fire damage. It has a proc on it. 10% chance to give 200% firing cycle haste for energy weapons for 4 seconds. The issue is, it's 6-second recharge. So you're getting 10 shots off a minute. And, you're only going to have a 10% chance for this effect to go off. So it's the buff isn't long enough to be honest for the proc rate. One of two things needs to happen for this experimental weapon to probably be, be more valuable, and that is either this number needs to change or this number needs to change. One of those needs to be increased to make this better. I think the math is that Chell popped in with some math on the Discord the other day. Um, it's not guaranteed that you're getting it once a minute. Yeah, the only time I've ever like actually had like a direct official communication with like someone from Stowe was back when they did the initial Delta recruit stuff. I had someone from Perfect World. I have no idea who they are. I don't know if they're even there anymore. But I had someone from Perfect World reach out to me and say, "Hey, do you want to do a video going over one of the factions, for the Delta recruit event?" And I did. That's why I did the like why Romulans are awesome video many years ago. Um, that that's literally the only content piece I have ever done that was like associated and like officially like sponsored or whatever from Cryptic. Can you make a YouTube video on Isomag so they go up in price? Yeah. They didn't send me any money. What they did instead is they advertised it, and then they sent me a care package with a postcard of Ryza, actually, like a Ryza postcard, and a uh some Cardassian tiki mug. I think I might have pictures of this. Let me see if I can go find it on Imgur. Give me a second. This was a very long time ago. Where is this? I don't know if I even actually have pictures of the stuff up on No, I wouldn't personally go out and pick up the Connie 3 for the trait. The Connie 3 trait for reference is what the hell's the name of it? Thunder Run. S- That's a neat tooltip there. Oh, it's because I'm stuck at the edge of the map. I mean, 20% Cat 2 for beams, cool. Plus threat gen. I mean, the issue with Thunder Run is the issue that I see with a lot of the newer traits, and that is that we need more trait slots. And I hope that this is something that they are thinking about internally, because right now they are releasing lots of things that are very hard to justify to be able to put onto builds because we don't have room for it. You know, are you going to drop Terran Goodbye for Thunder Run? Probably not. We need more trait slots, really bad. I'm looking through imagery here, so I don't know if I have a picture, but it was just basically a little like I think it was Ryza. It was either Ryza or DS9 little postcard, and then this Tiki mug, which I think Geek had at the time for like 10 to 15 bucks. Might have it on my Google Photos. Yeah, let me go look there quick. E6XX token, yeah. So years ago. I know there's a picture somewhere. I'm committed to finding it. Here we go. Found it. This is what I got for doing the that partnered like video with them for the the Delta recruit stuff. Yeah, yeah, it was a cool little thing. Yeah, I still actually I have both of these. I don't know exactly where the postcard is, but we've been clearing out the garage recently, and I know the smug is like right out on the kitchen counter right now. I never like have used it, but it's a neat little thing. Um, okay. So another thing too, while I'm here, um, it is very likely that this will probably be the last ship in the upcoming C store bundle. This Star Cruiser. This is like a really old ship, and what it looks like is that this upcoming C store bundle that they're working on is trying to bring out some T6 versions of some of the really old T5 ships that just haven't gotten love in a very long time. Um, and this Star Cruiser looks like it's probably going to be the cruiser option. Captain Lee, if you go to the builds Discord, we have a fleet category, and there's an area for like fleets looking for armadas and armadas looking for fleets. I'd say to check that out. Yeah, the DOF system supports up to 8 active DOF slots. We know that because there was a bug or exploit a couple years ago. Um, I don't see why they haven't taken advantage of that and let us use 8. Like, I think some of you that probably saw some of my streams like 4 or so years ago, like for a brief duration before they fixed it and like reset everyone's stuff that had it. Um, I had a character that had 8 active space slots and 8 active ground duty officer slots. Um, so the system clearly supports it. I don't know why they haven't monetized it. It legitimately doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I used to fly the ship. It used to look really neat with a like the Mako silver shiny skin on it. Okay, I'm gonna level this ship up quickly, and then gonna copy it over to Tribble and do testing over there. So I'm gonna put Withering Barrage on it. I'm just gonna go CSV. I'm gonna try to just speed level this thing. So, Withering Barrage on. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Cold Hearted's gonna go off. Complex Plasma Fire's going on because I'm just gonna do Plasma. Bombs on EWC, Withering, TG, and let's do Bruin. Okay, I'm just doing Plasma, doing this real quick. And we're gonna go over to Tribble with it. Maelstrom. No, Cold Hearted is a debuff. So if you're on a ship that has pilot seating or you use an Ox to Bat, then Cold Hearted is still good on those types of builds. Debuff is heavily undervalued by most of the community. You still see a lot of people like running attack pattern delta. I don't understand why. People don't realize with delta is that it's giving you some resistance, but it is only debuffing things that shoot you, whereas beta is debuffing everything that you shoot. So beta is good, cold hearted's good, sad's good. Debuff in general is just good. Omega is also good if you have traits that synergize with it. I can't remember the name of the one, but there are some traits that work very well with Omega. And if you're running those, then yeah, it makes sense to need to make sure I'm actually looking for plasma. Soul formation theta, yeah, thank you. Theta, she's a predator, yeah. If you're using traits that synergize with Omega, then it's really good. Okay. I'm gonna do Lorca. It's there. I'm doing plasma, so I'm also gonna put on Valkyrie Torment engine. Let's see. Just thinking here. I don't have UD on, so I'm not going to worry about Phasal Lance right now. But yeah, she's a predator will work with anything, but it's mainly Assault Formation Theta, which is a really good trait if you're on a build set up for it. Many of the like high-end Torp records are using Assault Formation Theta. That crit severity from it too is really good. Really quite good. It's good domino. And here I'm just going to run some Plasma Colony consoles and just call it a day. There we go. Station-wise, trait-wise, let's Symbiotic Ice can go off because I'm not running beams. I'm surprised how few people run Symbiotic Ice on beam builds. I would have figured that would have had wider adoption, but I don't know if people just aren't aware of it or what. But Symbiotic Ice, when you fire beam weapons, it adds an additional 6% of damage to your target as cold damage. So like a straight, 6% buff there for your beams. Pretty nice. And it's usually quite cheap on the exchange. It's like half the price of most of the other lockbox traits. It'll probably interact quite well. And time to set up the tray. I don't have any. You see, this is one of the issues with the Theseus is like with the bridge officer layout on it. You have room actually utilizing the miracle worker abilities, and then also fitting in like a torp spread, like a beam overload would be nice or something for this beam back here. But I just don't have room for it. That's the issue with the ship is the bridge officer seating is just too limited for what it is, which is really a shame given the cost of it. You know, this is not a cheap ship. This is a lockbox ship, which is why it's been so heavily like criticized. Is because for a lockbox ship, it should have a lot more flexibility than it has. It shouldn't be so restricted. Even the Terran Hydra in the C store has more flexibility on its bridge officer layout. Most of the C store ships released this year so far, in fact, have less restrictions than this thing has. Just ridiculous for the cost. I'm forgetting something, but I don't care. Save loadout, and here we go. What's going on with your mic? Is my mic messing up? How many symbiotic ice boxes do I have on the exchange? I mean I have of a few, but none are on the exchange. It's not something I have like a large stockpile of. Getting a hum when I talk? Is anyone else hearing a hum when I talk? Where is the face cam? Where on the Discord is the fleet section? So if you go, it's right below the trading category is fleet recruitment, and then there's an armada recruitment area. You might have to like select the channel or role, or there's just like a browse channel thing to make sure that you can see it. Discord's got things set up a bit differently now for larger servers, so the channel might just not be visible to you. Yeah. Bit of noise, but it's like it's fine for most people. Good. Okay, I'm starting up parser now. The sound does have a hum to it. Let me turn on the monitor here. Yeah, I think that's just the fan in the background. There's not much I can do about that. Hopefully the background removal in OBS does its job well. Okay, time to level this up. Gonna do an Argala. I go to the right window. One Argala on Elite always gets these ships up to T5. Where is the Stare of Death? You guys want the webcam on that bad? Terrible. I'll turn the lights on quick. Hold on. It's the webcam. Go. Oh no. I thought I took the maelstroms off auto fire. Oh man. A Romulan on screen? A Romulan fan, absolutely. How's this if I turn the other lights on?
Entered an area controlled by the Benthan
Oh, that
Guard.
just
Our
makes...
scans indicate your ship is on. Looks like our fight got them to notice us. Let's go over and ask if their boss might come out of hiding. Keep concentrating fire on individual ships. Separate them. Whittle down their numbers. We will not go quietly. You will stand down.
Not exactly the fastest run, but I'm sort of not really paying much attention.
Sensors are picking up small habitations at the top of the asteroid, possibly consistent with Volvo's temporary hideout. We do what we want, where we want. Picked up a tight beam transmission on a new frequency.
To be honest, I didn't even realize I have balanced weapon power on right now. Oh no. I did the classic stone noob mistake.
With me.
Oh no, I feel bad.
Excellent work. We'll send over a passenger.
Terrible. Okay, that's gotta go up. Rest in engines.
Thank you for your assistance, and welcome to this sector. We recommend that you get... We have the suspect...
Sus meter went down. Let's see. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part, but I mean that's an easy fix. I don't know what to think about this Lobi plasmatic biomatter auto turret thing I got the other day. The perk about this thing is that it can like hit a random secondary target, which I figured would be nice for the plasma trait, but my concern is you can't re-engineer the thing. So it's stuck with, you know, the AC 3 crit D AC damage. I'd like to re-roll this to crit D damage times 4, but I can't. I think I'll put the Verdian turrets back on. And I do have the ultimate Omnion right now, but I don't have room for a beam overload or fall for it, so I'm just gonna put another Viridian thing back on. Someone clip that? Terrible. All turret build when? Why do you hate me? What have I done? Ultimate Omni. The Ultimate Omni is it's nice. It's from the Lobi store. It's got a 1% crit chance buff on it that's applied ship wide when you have it slotted. But it also is part of the Ultimate 3-piece, which if you're running that, you know, that's a pretty large haste boost. This is what happens when you run. So I haven't looked at the ship much here. I know everyone's a big fan of this ship. I see a lot of these flying around, you know. Yeah, I should take this down. I haven't even looked at it in the ship tailor. Have I done a turret build? No, but it's not really that much of a stretch from like a CSV build. The ultimate troll move on Cryptic's part would have been to have given this random ship its own bridge. Imagine the rage that would have caused. Yeah, I don't like this. This just looks very weird to me. Ooh, that's hard, Chiaps. If you have no crit, if your crit chance is fine, then the D7. I don't know if there is a good angle for this ship. I'm gonna be real. I don't know if there is. Uh, it really it's a. Let's see, how does it look with some of these other materials? NX looks cool. That NX material on it actually looks pretty good. The Odyssey is what it has on its stock. Um, I don't know. I actually like, as weird as it is. I think the NX on it looks probably the best. It's unique, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna keep it with that. Like an engineer got drunk and attached the nacelles to the saucer instead of the main hull. That's pretty damn accurate. Close the window. That's the best angle for that ship. Oh man, has Triz gotten one yet? I honestly have no idea. I don't I don't know because it's got a deflector right there. I don't have the slime devil on this character. I don't think, at least. Well, if you want a Theseus, you can get one for the low cost of 1.3 billion EC. Hate when in a hard TFO and people bail. Yeah, if you do public TFOs, the elites are brutal. Okay. You know what? One run. I'm gonna do one ISE, and then we're going over to Tribble. And then I'm gonna be testing this ship with a full set of Isomags versus a full set of plasma, like locators. Yeah, I wonder if they know that almost no one in the game is going to see it because of how expensive it is. I joined this channel one, but I haven't gotten an invite. I don't know if it's because I was hidden or what. Oh, I don't have evasive on my tray. That'd probably help, wouldn't it? You guys think? Is evasive something that you should have on your tray? Yeah, if I don't get an invite, then I'll just do public queue. Stuka, how's it going? Why not make her run myself? The ISC is full. Yeah, I see that. Okay. I'm going to activate my plus 10 skill boosters from the fleet here. These, you don't really have to worry about these, for general play, but if you're doing, like if you're wanting to get everything out of your ship, then the plus 10 boosters there are nice. How does one get into the DPS channels? Use the STO combat meter. Upload like an infected, advanced, elite, or hive run, and you'll get an invite the next time the invites go out. Right now, the invites are basically going out twice a month. The last set I did, I think, was last weekend. So basically, you just use the STO combat meter. MC Stu has a good video going over how to install it. Use that. Make sure to use the installer version. The EXE version no longer supports uploads. So just do a run, make sure you're in combat for 95% of the time, and hit the upload button. Okay, public queue ISC, here we go. If anyone has a tank, it would very much be appreciated. And that instantly popped. That concerns me greatly. Do whatever works best for you, Stuka. When will the DPS channels become one again? I don't know, and I don't know if they ever will. Prepare for pain, most likely. We've got... They running the consoles? They got Scramble on. Where's your pet consoles? Oh, no. No, pet console's terrible. Yeah, well, I'm going to do the test over on Tribble. I'm going to use the Tribble test map.
Scanning the nanite transfer. Got it. Signal deactivation.
My positioning's off on this side. Just use my grab well. Rip. I'm gonna die. Guessing I had a torp spread misfire by how long that took to go off. I had a little bit of heat at the end there, but I mean, it worked out.
Transwarp conduit has been destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible. The complex doing 100k like normal. That's always nice to see. The plasma, the experimental weapon only did 84k that run. Recursive 46k. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Tholian Warp Core didn't do much. Yeah, it was just over a mil. It was okay. If it'd been less than a million, I would have been disappointed though. Would have been disappointed in myself. Yeah, but the thing is, like, yeah, this did well, but there's, the Hydra would do as well. I have noticed with complex plasma fires that if other people in the run have it, it seems to not work as well for like the others using the trait. Add tank. Did I? How much the? Oh yeah, I did. I didn't even realize. I had 44% of the attacks in, 53% of the damage in. I mean, it was a good run. Thank you all that joined that pug run. Very much appreciated. New ship, great. I mean, it's okay. What it does can be done by how many other ships in the game. So triple time, yes, yes, yes. And I got an enchained current piece. Another one for the stockpile of almost 1,000 now. Okay. Yep, it should absolutely not be a lockbox ship. I'm going to copy my character over quick, so let me get it over to Drozana. It just makes it faster to load in over there. Now, if you have I know you're memeing, but on a more serious note, if you're like legitimately wanting to get a ship to like improve DPS, probably the Gorn Hunter would be the one I'd go for right now. And move over to Plasma, especially if your focus is elite. That was a casual run. Indeed, very, very casual. Most casual of runs. BCS should have been terrible. Nice, Martin. Yeah, I'm I'm glad that it is now July that um the group buys have started for the QK 100, so I need to figure out the configuration that I want and get that ordered. I guess I should shout that out for any of you that are like looking for an 1800 style keyboard. They've got a nice group buy going on for the QK 100. It's available in most regions, I believe, but lots of customization options. So I'm probably gonna stick on the cheaper side. You can get the like fancy thing on the bottom, but you don't see the bottom of your keyboard, so I spent a ton on it. I'm probably just gonna go pretty basic, black case, black or the gold weight, black badge, and get the Wi-Fi version. So 190 bucks for an 1800. That's really custom that you can customize a ton. I think that's going to be interesting to play around with. Which ship is the best from the Lobby store in your opinion? That depends entirely on what your build is. That question is very difficult for me to answer because it's what is going to be best is heavily going to depend on what type of ship you're doing, what type of build you're going for. A lot of there's some lobby ships that are good, for the ships themselves. Like the Vengeance is still a very capable platform. But one of the main draws for lobby ships is the fact that many of them have some really good traits or trying to say they have some really good traits on them. I don't think there's many with like notable consoles that I can think of. The McKee Raider, I guess that's got a good console, but um, most of the time people are looking at them for the secondary benefits, not necessarily the ship itself. Read on the thermal paste on your laptop today? Nice. Um, the DPRM is still a good console, and I think it's a good console for you to have on hand. But I have to be honest with you. I have I have done more builds in the past year or two that didn't have the DPRM than builds that did have it on. Alan, how's it going? No worry, man. Prefer beam overload with pets? Well, for your case, do you have super weapon ingenuity off the Zindi Adalith Dreadnought? That's a lobby ship. That has a trait for beam overload that allows you to have 100% uptime on beam overload. It extends it to 15 seconds, so you have permanent uptime on beam overload. If you don't have that, then I'd go for that ship. Even though the ship itself isn't great, that trait, is really good for beam overload. Blanc, how's it going? Yeah, Martin, I think it's going to be. I don't have any information about, the things for sure, but um Cryptic directly showed off and leaked to the patrol escort a year ago. And they have also, recently done that update for the Deep Space Science Vessel here on Tribble, where it's got that new skin apparently. So, in fact, I do wonder if I can take a look at that here. I wish with Tribble that they would make this like automatically adjust your inventory sizes to match what you have on live. This is sort of a pain. Secondary items on ships being overpowered or broken? Never. Never. That never happens, Voyager. I clear stuff from my inventory before I can proceed. Time to open mark boxes. Trying to just clear some space out here. Um, like complex plasma fire kills you. Terrible. I'm looking into turning all my ships into beam overload, including your old psi ships. That's the thing too with beam overload. The reason it is as popular as it is because it literally works with everything. Like beam overload, if there's a ship in this game, then beam overload will work with it. Pretty much. As long as it has at least an ensign tax seat. Okay, I gotta delete a ship. I have to delete a second ship because I'm on Tribble. This is for Distant Night here. I know they're a big fan of this ship. I don't know why I typed your name in. What's this? Oh, there's no ship tailor here, is there? Rip. I need to do this on a different character. Nice. Yeah, DPRM is just too expensive. Yeah, AoE works everywhere in the game pretty much. That's the type of response I was expecting. I know you're a very big fan of that ship. Where did that box just go? Oh no. Oh, it went here. I want to go to the tailor and see if I can actually see the new skins that people were talking about, or if they're maybe, you know, getting them through alternative means. Cannot complete with the items in the overflow bag. Okay. I'm on Tribble. There's no C-store on Tribble. That's why I'm at negative ship slots, is because I'm on Tribble. That's a funny name. Yeah, when you copy a character over to Tribble, you don't have all your inventory space, so it dumps things into overflow, and then you can't. They have it set up so you can't do certain actions in the game while you have overflow. Dan, thank you for the membership. Very much appreciated. M6 is budget good. I don't use the M6, but if you're like doing a do build on a budget and you don't have a lot of the other haste stuff, then yeah, it makes sense. But if you have access to better things, you don't really need it. There we go. So you see I'm at -3 ship slots right now. That's because on Tribble, you don't have everything transfer over with you. So I need to just go in and do like dry dock, dry dock, dry dock, and dry dock. And I hate how this does this sometimes. And then the other ship that we think is gonna have a you know, a new T6 version is gonna be the old Star Cruiser. So I'm gonna look at the mirror version here. Even more trash in my inventory. I know. Did I even get the right science ship? I'm just realizing I may have grabbed the wrong one. I did. I grabbed the wrong one. I need the other mirror science ship. Let's see. Does the Star Cruiser have anything new on it? It's still stuck with its old materials. No update for it here. This ship, I used to think, I used to think this thing legitimately looked pretty cool. Like you put the Mako shield on it back in the day, and it had this really neat shiny effect on it. But to be fair, my graphics settings at the time were also turned down very low, so yeah, it definitely this design has not aged well, and I very much foresee this probably being the cruiser with a nice redo on the model, because this is literally like an OG ship in the game that they just never updated. Have I seen how much the T5 mirror ships go for on the exchange? Some of them, yeah, but yeah, I used to use the emissary. Oh yeah, here you go. You can see this clearly. I look at that last ship I was in. Now look at this one. Look at all the different materials I can access. Like that be a sign, That is definitely a sign that new new skins are incoming for this. So right now it can look like the default templates are this, this, and this. If I hit randomize, it's I don't know how people were getting the other parts on it yet. It's still just the three here. They might have been doing the post on Reddit may have been some through some means that should not be talked about. The launch day garbage remaster bundle, yeah, pretty much. Do I think we will get some new hangar pets with the upcoming C-store ships? Well, the question would be, are any of them going to be carriers? That's really the question there. Distant Night, do you think that any of these new ships, the patrol escort's not going to have a hangar bay? This thing, I could see them turning this into a carrier. To be honest, there were pictures from PC. I don't know. I don't know the stats of any of these ships, to be clear. So I don't know what to expect. I hope that I hope they have good stats. I expect and stat wise, the only thing that I will say that I expect is a bundle similar to what we had last year with the Bozeman, basically the entire first responder bundle. I basically expect this new bundle with the patrol escort, that size ship, and then that cruiser to basically be a direct copy of that. Yeah, the Reddit, the pictures on Reddit the other day that showed this on PC most likely were someone that had data mined and changed the ship ID in the demo record over to that new skin. That's the prediction anyways, unless they found a way to like randomize and get it. Not a carrier, but multi-mission science festival. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Did I do what, Distant Night? What did I do? Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully some more neat traits, because Jonathan has introduced some really interesting new trait designs, and I'd be curious to see what he can come up with to try and boost more things up. Because I mean, look, I didn't expect that I'd be focused on plasma as my main damage type, at the start of this year, and sure enough, with that Gorn, the Gorn ship, I've fully shifted my stuff over to plasma. I'm not running phasers or disruptors on my main DPS build right now. I'm running plasma. Um, Dan, the name of my fleet is the Breakfast Club. Inept Watcher here can send you an invite if you're wanting in. Okay, logs. Stream. Yeah, these compiler weapons are getting discarded just because I know Distant Knight really likes them. That's the sole reason. And I just want to make sure I have my set of plasma consoles here. This is the way, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna be stripping off most of the things from the ship, just to be clear. I'm not gonna be hitting bridge officer abilities. What's gonna happen is, in fact, I am going to actually even drop the torpedo here. What's gonna happen is I'm going to do this. I'm just gonna let the weapon shoot basically for a couple minutes, and then I will swap the consoles around. But I'm going to take traits off here just to remove some variables. I'm not going to hit any bridge officer abilities. Um, these I can just leave as is because these are going to remain static. Looking to tank which ship? The Styx is good if you can get the 13th bundle. You've got the Styx on account wide unlock. The Terran Sirius and the Sea Store would also be a pretty good tank platform. I just use cannons on most things and call it a day. Do I really not have another? Here I do. I was worried. How do I get Omni Beams in the R&D? You can craft them at level 15 in your Beams R&D school. That's how you can go through and craft the Omnis. Okay, weapon powers maxed. Again, I'm literally just gonna sit behind the target and shoot basically for like 5 minutes or something. Then I'm gonna swap the consoles around and we'll see what the damage difference is. Onslaught adaptive offensive. Good call. Just unslot most of these and just call the day. Remove the variables. I mean that can stay there. just take it off. There we go. I'm going to test Isomags, basically a full set of Isomags versus like an exploiter setup. So let me go to something probably more common for what most of you do, which is going to be probably like a fleet warp core. And yeah, it's fine. Okay, test one is Isomags. Let me make sure I have. Let's get Notepad up. My GMMK Pro has been messing up recently. Oh, yeah, that was fun. So this is going to be Isomags versus Exploiters. I don't have any plasma locators. So that as you will. So let's see here. Let's do Isomag damage. Yep. Then Exploiters. Go. I'll try to keep the time consistent between the two, so probably just like 5 minutes shooting with both. Yes. That is part of the benefit of running them. Should you want me to take the colony consoles off? So see here, take Domino being there doesn't matter. Like on both of these setups, the side consoles will remain the same, and I'd keep the Fekiri Torment engine on because Plasma, and I'd keep the Lork on. Leave them on and I mean, we could just do a couple tests, but yeah, let's just run it as I'd be flying it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave it shoot now for the next 5 minutes. I'm going to make sure the parser's on. The left science console is the Gorn Hunter one. It's got plus 20% Cat 2 for plasma damage on it. Isomag plus colony. Okay. I'll just do a test with the colonies and then do one without. How about that? And I thought I hit the start button here, so let me already, like... I already failed. I thought I hit the start button on this. Yep. Because Exploiter setup would have more uni consoles for console clickies, yeah. Well, the experimental weapon's a factor. Is it, you want me to just remove that from the equation too? I guess here's another question. You want me to just use a different chip? I mean, I figured with the Theseus, it's fairly even on the number of... Yeah, I figured I would just run it like as I build it, but obviously I'm not hitting things. Yeah, okay. Run it the way that I would have it set up for myself. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. While that is going, I will take a look at the messages I'm getting elsewhere. Do I go for 5 minutes on each, or do I just go for like 2 or 3 minutes? Like, what do you guys think here? Still Better has done math, but part of the thing that they explicitly stated is they are not factoring in experimental weapons on Trinity. 3 is probably good. 5 minutes. I'm waiting for someone to say like half an hour. Jace just doing testing for Isomags versus Spire consoles right now. So explicitly, I'm testing on the Theseus. I have 6 Isomags on, which means that my weapons can get up to almost 170 weapon power just sitting here. And I'm as soon as this like 3-minute test is done, I'm going to swap the consoles over to the Spire ones. 1 week. Truth is, the longer you go, the more accurate it gets. Yeah. Run the test for an hour each. If I was doing 6 months, now that's too much. If I was doing this off stream, I'd probably leave it go for like 15 minutes, to be honest. Or what I would do is I would just go and play warships, and then after a match, like go in and turn it off. Yeah. $10 to have conclusive data. Because I play submarines terribly. I can't show my casual gameplay there. Okay. First result, this was with the Isomags plus colonies on. So time was 181.3. Damage. Why am I not doing this in Excel? I feel like an idiot right now. I'll copy this over to Excel during the next test. 95738.64. That's a good point, Distant Night. That does make me hate what I've done in the last 3 minutes even more. That is actually a good point. Like, there are procs on these weapons, and if they do go off, that does, technically impact or influence the results here. Do I need to just swap over to a different damage type? Do I just go over to like a phaser setup? Because I have phaser locators, I have phaser exploiters. But let's just do this as is. I'm going to swap the consoles out now, and we'll just go from there. Salvage. Yeah, and then if I was running this as like a locator build, so that'd probably be a bioneural. I'd have on there. Given its plasma, I would probably honestly I'd probably do like the point defense bombardment warhead with the DPRM, because that has a two-piece on it that is boosting plasma up. And then for this last console, I would probably do. Yeah, I mean, I can just do another set of tests with the phasers after this. Let's just finish this plasma one here. For the last console, and probably like another haste one. So that, like, that'd probably be like what I would do. Plasma and phaser 2. Disruptor, like, if you're doing normal or advanced content, Disruptor's already like top. Disruptor, phaser is good, but Disruptor has spiral wave disruptors. I know I haven't done like a disruptor beam shootout or anything like that, but let me spoil that for you. Spiral waves win. Spiral waves are like the best individual weapons in the game outside of like the Terran beam and cannon. Yeah, if I do phaser though, the phaser proc doesn't matter because I'm just shooting a static target that already has shields offline. Yeah, exactly. Disruptor already has access to the Terran stuff, and you can do spiral wave. What is the pity point for lockboxes? Like 304, I think. I haven't done that test yet, but you have to keep in mind that spiral waves literally get like an extra modifier. The spiral mod on weapons is actually damage times 2 plus the phaser proc. So spiral wave weapons are basically, most weapons have 5 modifiers. Because of how the spiral one works, you could basically say that it's like a 3-in-1. Terrible. Okay, this test is gonna be same thing as the last. I'm gonna be like 1.7 kilometers behind the target. This time is with exploiters and the type of setup that I would run if I was doing like a plasma build with exploiters. So gonna let it go for 3 minutes again. The issue with spirals is that they're extremely expensive, but the advantage that spirals have is that spirals are available in more than just beams. Like you can get spiral turrets, you can get spiral dual beam banks, spiral dual heavy cannons, spiral dual cannons. The new plasma experimental weapon, yeah, it's great. No Omni, yeah. Spirals are expensive. If you look at the ISA table, I know the Thaleron record's up at the top right now, but the top energy weapon record, that's using spiral waves. Spiral waves do really good there. 40k del each, yeah, they're expensive. You pay for what you get. Or you get what you pay for. I can't English right now. Jeez. It's been a long week, okay? you have to actively have a Cardassian ship on your ship roster, I believe, in order for them to appear in the Dill store. I know, Grim. I know. What a decade. Brilliant Blade, how's it going? Okay, so I don't know if you guys can tell there, but that was basically the same time. So 181.5 damage. I need to just do this in Excel. 15,404, 687, and then DPS was 84874. But let's get a more consistent test because there's been a few good points brought up in chat. Let's actually test the actual like difference between um like let's do like a more direct comparison. So let me get stuff set up for that. Are there any channels like yours that play on console? Probably not. I don't, to be honest with you, most of the people that I know that have done like min-max things on console, they end up moving to PC. Um, I don't think there's that many like dedicated console still players. I know Triz covers some console content. Ace, I'm sorry for your loss there. My condolences. I'm glad to be able to help and provide you some entertainment and a break from your life stuff. Distant Night. What is your favorite story arc that you played start to finish on stream? Well, you see, being I hate myself, of course, the Terran Gambit arc was just such a fun experience. So much fun. So much fun. They all end up coming to PC, yeah. If you want to get into STO at a high level, you're gonna end up on PC eventually. Um, I think STO on console is fine. From I'm not trying to sound like a dick or elitist or anything here, but from a more casual point of view, I think playing on console is fine for STO. But ultimately, if you're really wanting to get into like min-maxing things or doing really competitive stuff like PvP, eventually you're either going to move on to a different game or you're going to get a gaming PC and play the game on PC because that seems to be the track of what most of the like console PvPers are doing. They they're like, okay, want to step this up to the next level, and they like Turtle. Turtle moved from console over to PC, and Turtle's not the only one. Like it just that's the line of progression it seems for people that really want to get into that end game stuff. Nah, STO. I used to play STO on a really crappy PC. Yeah, I've seen the UI and there's no way I could ever deal with it. There's no way I would ever play this game on console. Okay, we're gonna do a more direct comparison. Um, the Gorin Hunter is probably the best because it has an even number of slots. Let's do that. Where is the Gorin Hunter? Yeah, they really should allow people to transfer their accounts over. I wish there was a way to do that, but right now there's not. Yeah, I need things off of the ship, so give me a minute here. I'm gonna use the Gorin Hunter, and um, what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna set up a phaser build on it. Because I have all of the stuff to do like A versus B type test here with phaser. So phaser wise, um, I don't want to use the, well, I guess I can use the Terran. It literally doesn't matter here. We'll do Terran. We'll do the two phaser narrow angle beam rays. Those just have like a smaller arc than normal beams, but they have more damage than normal beams. And then for the other ones here, we'll just do damage 3 pens, because that is legitimately the type of phasers that I ran for a very long time. And for the experimental weapon, I'm going to use the Soliton Wave Impeller so that we can see how that... Actually, that has a proc on it. What else can I do? If that proc goes off, I can just remove it from the... just not count it. Just save this loadout. Where's my D7 at? What this test is going to be is 6 isomags versus 6 locators versus 6 exploiters. Just raw. No, nothing else on the build. Literally nothing else. Just those things. So I'm gonna grab all of my phaser consoles here. Where is this? And looks like that should be 6 then. So I have 6 of each. I'm gonna do phaser beams with the Soliton Wave Impeller just because I want to see, you know, the impact on the experimental weapon from the extra weapon power. Well, these are phasers, so the thing is, these do have a proc on them. Okay, these phasers do have a proc, but it doesn't matter because I'm shooting static targets that have their shields already off. So if the phaser proc does go off, what's it gonna do? If it shuts their shields down, doesn't matter. If it shuts their weapons down, I'm shooting static targets that don't have um their weapons turned on. So this should be fine. I'll get everything fixed when I'm in there. I mean, I can do an Omni. That's a good point. Um, Sensor linked. Perfect. Perfect. Sensor linked Omni. So I'm going to set up a spreadsheet here. Let's move that over here. And name this Isomag testing. And I'm just going to throw out the results from the prior test for right now. So damage. Time in seconds. Each of these tests will be with 6 of whatever the console is, and we'll see how it goes. So let me just get this all organized here and these numbers. So let's do first Isomag. I'm expecting Isomags to come out on top. So let's see how things end up. First test here is going to be with exploiters. Once I put the shields and everything back on the ship. Apparently that helps, you know? I'm just going to go with a Spire Warp Core just because that's fairly static in what that does. Okay, 6 Phaser Exploiters, and I do have weapon power maxed and then the rest in engines, which is basically what 99% of you should be doing with your ships. And some of you aren't doing. Terrible. Let's get this set up. I will sit right behind the target. And I will let it fire for the same time period. Okay. Here we go. I've already messed up. I forgot to take the traits off. And the spec. I messed up. I need to take the traits off because if there's like a proc or anything, that could impact things. Nice, 2 Withering Barrages. Only those actually, like, I haven't seen that before. That I want to hit CSV and see what that does actually real quick. It doesn't do anything. Damn it. That would have been convenient. When the traits double stack like that, they almost never actually do anything. It's just a loadout bug. Wish there was just a D-slot all traits button. Leave that on. And can I change my spec in here? No, I have to leave the map to do so. Hold on, I've got my chat covered, so I've been missing what's been said for the past couple minutes here. Go commando. And what do I want to have on here? Command's like not going to do anything for me, so I might just put command on. Yeah, let's go command. Or even better, there we go. I've got no specializations on. Okay, back into the map. The Tholian Tarantula is a bit of a Bit of a brick would be the best way to describe it. It's definitely a bit of a brick. The clicky console on it is neat in concept, but in reality, it's got such a long charge up that it's don't really get much out of it. Okay, I'm 0.79 kilometers behind the target. I'm going to start firing after I make sure that everything is off. That needs to be off. I forgot about duty officers. Here we go. The offs are off. Specializations are off. The traits are basically off. Here we... Well, what's the crit chance? 45%. Okay. Yeah, the traits are off. The Tarantula, it's a really expensive ship. It's not exactly the best. You know, it's definitely a bit dated. You can make it work, though, if that's what you really want. While this is going, I expect the exploiters are probably going to be the worst result here because I'm firing just raw firing the weapons with like no buffs. You know, the traits are off. I don't have a high level of crit chance right now, given that everything's turned off, and I'm not using things like Terran Goodbye. So exploiters, in theory, should probably be the worst thing here. Again, at 3 minutes, I will tab out or like close out of the character and end the combat, and then I'll swap over to the next thing to test. Meantime, I'm just going to tab out and hit things in O game. Yeah, I mean, the Tarantula, it can be a fun ship. It's just, you know, it's one of those things you have to understand if you do go for it. Just understand it's not the most powerful. You know, there's a lot of ships that haven't always aged the best. It's still capable though. You can still get something out of it. Now exploiters and max shield power. But I need power and shields to survive. That is terrible. The noble trait, yeah, I know the noble trait can be good, but you go to, it's on Tribble. It's at a console on Jerzon on Tribble. That's test one. And I said I was going to subtract any radiation damage from the Soliton here, but it looks like it didn't actually go off, so... Let's see how the locators go now. Yeah, just testing the isomags. So do an exploiter versus locator test right now, and then isomag will be afterwards. Basically, right now it's if you have if you have a situation where you can slot 6 of any of these consoles, you know, locators, um, exploiters or isomags, you know, which are best. That's sort of the test right now. So this is going to be locators. Obviously, that massively helps the crit chance, which desperately needed help. Close enough. Here is the locator test. Yeah, trauma response. I believe they've had a few cracks at addressing it. Yeah, Terran Goodbye, Universal Designs, both going to be good options to help with the crit chance loss. The trade-off to Vaudouar Juggernaut may also be appealing to some people. That's 10% crit chance explicitly for energy weapons, though. But it does increase your weapon power cost. The blue phaser is the sensor-linked. The one that's shooting the little cannons. That's my sensor-linked Omni. So far, this is looking to be probably about 5% better than the exploiters were. But again, that's because low crit chance. Yeah, because the exploiters were at 41.2k DPS, and these are at... The locators right now are at like 44. It's going up and down here. So like a 5% increase. But if you had like a 100% crit chance, it'd skew the other way. Like the exploiters would win out. On 80.1. Damage 7891, 562. And did the withering radiation? Okay, that damage is so low, I'm not even gonna subtract it. The Terran proc went off and did 1000 damage or 6.63 DPS. Yeah. Weapon procs suck. That's why most of the 2.5% chance procs literally just do not matter. Now it's time for the Isomags, which are probably going to just massively blow both of those results out of the water. Which is good because I got lots of these things to sell. I need good results here. Go. Okay, Isomag testing is now on. I should also probably keep track of um the experimental weapons damage. Have Ferengi blood. How did you know? I think the exploiter testing data should probably be thrown out just because with me not having any buffs on such low crit chance, the exploiters were always going to look bad. Yeah, the exploiters are explicitly good when you have like 100% crit chance or near it. Clearly, the isomags are winning out, even at this crit chance level that I'm at. You know, without all my stuff active. Um, yeah, it's just climbing. Seeing isomags do well makes me very pleased to see that my literal billions of EC worth of consoles that I've spent to acquire or were worth the time. Okay, so that was 181.2. Um, again, the Terran thing did its thing and did one 1,000 damage. That's interesting. Damage for 8,448,275 damage, or DPS of 46,124.03. Let me get this mathed out. Equals. Let me get these converted over. Okay. In that test that I just did, again, that was like 50% crit chance, so in practice you probably would have more crit chance, which would increase the value of exploiters and decrease the value of locators, but just at that base threshold, without like a full build on here, the isomags ended up being 6.4% ahead of the locators when running 6 isomags versus 6 locators. So it is an improvement. And the fact is, you know, to some people, the isomags are probably going to be a much more accessible option via the exchange. I know grinding TFOs is going to be brutal for them, but you can get them off the exchange. Now I want to see here. I want to compare the experimental weapon from the isomag run to the crit chance run. Okay, so in the crit chance run here, the Salton Wave Impeller did 11.8k, and then in the Isomag run, how did the weapon power help it out? The weapon power literally did nothing for it. Okay. There are some experimental weapons that do scale up quite nicely with weapon power. I thought the Salton would see more of a gain, to be honest. The weapons just saw such a nice gain there. Seems in line with the still better test results, yeah. The haste part of the Salton Wave Impeller scales with engine power, but I thought the damage still scaled up with weapons. I might be wrong though. So yeah, I mean clearly the like if you're wanting to get the most damage out of your weapons, I think the Isomags clearly went out. Especially when you factor that you can still run, like Colony TAC consoles, Bellum. You can use your TAC slots for, a bunch of universals that may boost it up quite a bit. The crit chance difference is really hurting the exploiters in this test, yes. I in fact, like I said, I think just it's best to just ignore the results from the exploiters and just focus on Isomag versus Locator here. Showing that even with you losing the 12% crit chance, that the weapon power still does so much. Terrible. Hope you're rolling all your Isomags to turn. Oh, you know it. How did you know? I heard that's the way. What's the crit chance difference between them on the parse? Let's take a look here. So in the run with the locators, the crit chance was 64.93%, and on the other one, it was 52.95. So basically 53 versus 65. And even with me having the 12% lower crit chance, the Isomag still won out. Nah, you wouldn't do that, Ethan. You would... If you're using the Isomags to boost your weapons up, you need to be using Isomags that have the modifiers that boost your weapons up. So if you're running, a phaser build, you need to be running Isomags with phaser. You are never... There will never be a situation in this game where that best diplomat traits 20 to 30% cat 2 is going to beat out the amount of cat 1 that you would be getting from a full set of these consoles if you have them rolled for that correct modifier. It will... the cat 2 will not make up for you giving up like 240 cat 1. You're talking about giving up 240% cat 1 there for 20 to 30% cat 2. That's just not a good trade. Because the cat 1 is going to have a very nice impact. Yeah, let's look at that a bit closer. So this snipping tool picture here is the run with the Isomags. So the crit chance definitely, is a little bit lower. But the max crit hits are like all the numbers are higher with the Isomags than with the crit chance consoles for the damage that the weapons were doing, because that weapon power is like directly impacting the the damage formula quite a bit. Timothy, how's it going? Yeah, weapon power is a direct damage increase. And yeah, you can run like the Bellums. You can run the Bellum consoles to get crit chance back. You can run universals if you really wanted. You can redo the colonies. Guaranteed damage, yeah. And you already have a lot of crit chance from other sources too on most high-end builds. So if you have things like Terran Goodbye, Universal Designs, that's massively helping. Coronis, the STO better people have already done that math, and the Bellums are the winner over the colonies. Just slightly though. I think the point is that really this testing is to get across is that the isomags are actually really good. The isomags are worth it if you can run, a ton of them. If you're on a ship where you have 3 engineering slots and 5 tac, you still run, your normal tac consoles. But if you're on a ship that has like 4 engineer and 5 tac, that's probably where I would start looking at isomags. And then if you have parity in how many engineering console slots you have versus tac, then you probably, you go isomag. And if you have more engineering than tac, then you definitely go isomag. What are the Bellums? The Bellums are consoles that you can get from the Discovery Reputation store. The Bellums, I don't have one on me here, but they give you, there's a cannon version and a beam version. They're tac consoles that give you a small amount of crit chance and then plus beam damage or plus cannon damage. Name the one thing I want in this game not related to DPS. An exchange that doesn't suck to use so much. I do a lot of marketplace, so the exchange, not being a complete slog to interact with would be very nice. There's specific queues you have to do in order to get the components for to get the components for each of the consoles. Timothy, take a look at the link I put in chat. This is to the STO wiki. This goes over what queues drop what. So if you're wanting the isomag components, you have to play the queues that have the plectin box or the ones that have the radiogenic particle box. Nah, it continues to scale up past 125. Yeah, I know. The price of Isomags is too cheap. I think people need to go in and buy them up. Yeah, the damage scaling goes up beyond that, yes. What is it? I'm trying to find something. Wiki. Where's the area about power? On that page. Trying to find where it is. Hold on. Yeah, so the um, weapon power will give you a buff with that equation there. So let's say you have, so right now I've been sitting at like one. What am I at? I'm at 169, so basically 170 weapon power. And if I go back to that page I just had up, so 170 plus 100, so 270 divided by 200 means that the weapons are getting a multiplier there of 1.35. Now, if you're at the normal cap of 125, that would be 225 divided by 200. And that would be a multiplier there of, 1.125. So having that extra bit of weapon power is quite nice. That is, and that's early on in the damage formula too, which is why we're seeing, a nice improvement, even though the crit chance is so much lower with the testing that I just did. Is there a DOF that helps get more materials from resource boxes? I don't remember, to be honest. The R&D materials are I like to get an extra advanced component. I don't think so. Yes, the STO damage formulas are a lot. So this is the main formula to probably worry about is like your base damage of the weapon, then the multiplier from your weapon power level, which is why low weapon power is bad, and you should always make sure to crank your weapon power up. Then you've got your Cat 1 buffs. Then those are multiplied against the Cat 2 buffs, and then your final damage multipliers like the damage mod. And then you have, the damage fall off if you're far away from the target, and then of course the damage resistance to the target. Or the debuff on the target. Nick, how's it going, man? Hoodwinked, thanks for stopping by. There's currently no cap to weapon power for scaling, not that I'm aware of. Still don't need weapon power for torps and mines, though? Yeah, that's correct. The mines and torpedoes do not benefit from the weapon power. So if you have some of these Isomag consoles with the torpedo modifier on them, re-roll it or sell it. Alcohol stream is slow. Oh no. Sorry to hear, Nick. Yeah, with things like emergency weapon cycle, if you have that, that'll help with the weapon power drain quite a bit. You can do a fleet warp core if you want. That'll help with the weapon power cost reduction also. Oh, how terrible, Nick. I mean, weapon emitter overdrive off the Vodvor Juggernaut. I mean, that still has value. That will help you get some of your crit chance back, if you want, but that does, have that counter effect in that it does make your weapon strain more power. Otto, the Stow Better tier list covers that if you want to take a look at that. I'll have a link here in chat. Let me pull that up for you. They have a nice tier list over on Stow Better for a variety of different things, like what traits are best for energy weapons, projectile, exotic, energy. some things, they may not have every last new trait that's come out, but the basics are there. And like if you follow what they recommend, what's highly rated for whatever powering mode you're using, you'll have good success with it. The thing with the Vought War Juggernaut is it only gives crit chance for energy weapons. Any ETA on the campaign best ships, I was intending to record it last night, but it was just a long day, and we had someone. I had to clean out the Tahoe I'm trying to sell, and we had someone show up, do a test drive, and then just basically waste like an hour of our time. So I want to get the video recorded. It's just a matter of real life throwing curveballs as usual, but hopefully in the next few days. Like I said, I wanted to have it out yesterday, but just things happen. Let's see. Nick, this is the Theseus. Terrible. Now this is the Theseus Miracle Worker Destroyer. I am. Yeah. Dean, I don't know why they haven't done stuff like that at the GPL store. That'd be a good way to burn resources for them. Let's go back to live here. I think you guys got the point from the triple testing that the Isomag consoles are actually not that bad, that they're pretty good. Why am I using the Tholian Warp Core? Because if you're on an AoE based build and you can get lots of kills against groups of enemies that are close together, it can chain and do a lot of damage. Is the buff seating on this actually good? No. Not particularly. It could be better. It's really difficult to work around, to be honest. Like, one of these lieutenant commanders should have been a universal, I think. It's difficult to actually do, like, to take advantage of mixed armament synergy. Yeah, the Theseus is the comic book ship. I opened 30 something lock boxes yesterday and got lucky, pulled a T6 box, and was like, okay, it's time to get the Theseus. I can be disappointed. Yeah, I can use an Omni. That's what I did before. But the issue is I don't have a beam overload. So that's gonna suck for the performance of that. Full Intel engineering ship might be OP. Yeah, the Fleet Soyuz Intel heavy frigate is really good with the Isomax. Bonk, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. On a Canon CSV build, does the wide arc phase cannon proc MAS? No, it's still Canon. It's still registered as a cannon. It just has the visual of a dual beam bank. Spencer, you forgot to say it's good, especially for that price. And you can buy it only for $69.99 only today. Terrible. What about 5 easy payments of $19.95 a month? Kabali Samsar DPS build when? I don't hate myself. I don't. Some of the things you guys want me to run, it's just. It just. I feel like I feel like Triz when I say this, but why do you guys hate me? First, you want me to do the Terran Gambit arc again, and now you want to see a Kabali Samsar cruiser. Space Wizard build when? I'm just not good enough for APG builds. I'm sorry. Aaron Arc on Elite. Honestly, the other thing is too, if you have the Connie 3, the Connie 3 console does actually have an electrical boost on it. So if you stack all of these new electrical boost items, you could probably get the Nadarian Defender up to a really interesting point. What's the name of that console? It. I don't remember what it looks like. Got too many consoles. Yeah, and the current event one has that really nice electrical boost. Yeah, here we go. The Connie 3 console bioelectrical wave capacitor plus 40% Cat 2 electrical damage on it. The Nadarian is definitely the better AFK ship. Mycelial Lightning build? You probably could. The Bellums went out. The Stow Better people already did the math on that. Let me pull that up and link that for you. Yeah, they've already done the math. The Bellums went out. I never get that much damage out of the Fakiri Torment. If you're on a build where you're getting a substantial amount, then sure. But like if you're only getting like 10, 20k DPS out of the Torment engine, I wouldn't slot a thing to boost it up. I don't have the stuff yet, Axel. I'm not gonna buy it out. I'm gonna continue to just grind the ship and get it for free. I don't want to spend 800 lobby. Has there been some secret nerfs on some consoles or abilities recently? No. Not that I'm aware of. Keep hitting the wrong button. Spore infused anomalies are electrical red? I think so. I want to say yes, but I don't remember for sure. Yeah, I need to get my actual dailies done here. I need reroll tokens. Cryptic is about to see what I'm doing and be very happy about it. No. The Unite Earth Defense Vessel, the tooth there, it's not. I would go for the Eagle. The Eagle is just gonna be a better all-around torp platform right now because it can also do Theta. The if you have Assault Formation Theta off of the legendary Talis, the Eagle can do that. And if you look at most of the top runs right now for actual torpedoes on the ISC table, you'll see the Eagle is like most of all of the 3 mil torp runs right now are with the Eagle. I do think that the World Razor has the potential to beat that, but with the Thaleron runs up on the table, there's not exactly a ton of motivation for people to push, the torp stuff too far right at the moment. Yeah, so I don't know how we're gonna see the torp meta evolve. The Thaleron runs up on the table seem to have impacted the mentality for some players that are chasing DPS stuff. Hey Trez, how's it going? With the Maelstrom torpedo, what I did with it is, I think I actually have this in Discord. Hold on. So I set my torp spread keybind. What I did on my tray there is I set the Maelstrom as the first torp on my torp spread keybind. So that's basically the change I did. Yeah, see store ships at the top. Yeah, the Eagle is the top torp boat on the table right now, and the Legendary Scimitar is the top DPS ship in the game because of the Aileron right now. Though I have to note that the Aileron does not apply to the majority of content, and it's not something that you should go and replicate. The Aileron is incredibly niche, and you're not gonna you're not really gonna be able to do that in a regular channel run or whatever. Okay, defeat Terran ships, 10 phaser damage. Um, any thoughts on changing the DPS tables because of Thaleron? Oof. Are our buff traits still bugged? I think so. Distant Night, when I asked um them about that like a year ago, the response was that this is like the exact response they gave me. This has been happening so much, we may as well consider it a permanent feature at this point. Now, that was obviously a sarcastic response, but as far as I know, we're still a year in and it's still messed up. Any thoughts on changing the DPS tables because of Thaleron? I can't. And I got a message the other day, asking about that topic too. And I still stand by the response I gave on Thaleron when it was still just a theory. When I had actually tried a Thaleron run myself, and the reality is that the ISC table, the ISA table, the HSE table, the space tables that we currently have on SCM, those are all team based. And we already have so many different things in the game that, so much of DPS chasing at that level is about maximizing overkill. Overkill is where a target has 1,000,000 HP, but you do 5,000,000 damage to it, and to the game, it says that you did 5,000,000 damage. Overkill is a huge part of the DPS chase. And Thaleron requires so much teamwork, coordination, strategy, build investment to do that, given that to the ISC table, the ISA table, the HC tables, given those are team-based maps, I don't feel like Thaleron should be removed. It requires such an extreme level of teamwork, strategy, and investment to even be able to pull that off that I don't think I should punish the people doing it. I want to have a patrol in the future, like yeah, that is the core issue, and that's the response that I gave to Chell when he did his thesis, which I can pull up here. Let me get my actual statement that I sent to Chell months ago. Let me get that up. Yeah, the Thaleron's extremely complicated. Like Chell has an insanely long actual thesis write-up that's 55 pages long explaining how to do a Thaleron run and how to set it up. It is so extremely difficult to pull off that I'm not going to take it off the tables. I know people don't like it on the tables, but the fact is it is so insanely complicated. You have to get the positioning right. Everything has to go right. Like it's not as simple as just doing a run. Like you doing a Thaleron run means you're going to be in there trying to get the positioning down, getting the timings exactly right, getting the cone right for Thaleron. Like, it's not easy. And I'm not going to punish people who are putting in the effort to push the game mechanics to the limit. So my response to Chell when he asked, what my thoughts were initially, is my response was that as one of the few people who has actually, attempted a Thaleron run, my opinion is that they are as valid as any other approach. Like I said, they require a lot of strategy, coordination, and skill from the entire team to actually pull it off. And the core thing here, the main point, which is what you guys were also saying, is the Thaleron runs on the table and the huge gap that they've caused between coordinated runs versus non-coordinated emphasizes once again that the main issue that the DPS community has is that we need ways for players to have tables to be able to compete against each other, whereas the space tables right now are all team focused. And if you don't have a team, and if you don't have a team that can do these types of runs, you're SOL. Is that still a maths test? Yeah, and if you guys want to take a look at this, I'll include a Dropbox link here in chat. That's the Thaleron thesis. It's complicated. So what does the Thaleron run look like? I think there's a video of one in the DPS Discord. Let me pull it up. I do not know if this has music on it, so it's going to be muted. Here is the first 13 mil Thaleron run that they did a couple weeks ago. So you got to get into position. The team's got to be, the team's got to be on the ball. Everything's got to be going right. They were working on this stuff for months to get to the point that they got to. There is a battle zone for PvP. It's called Karat. Yeah, it requires a strategy. I mean, I know the buff bar, they've got the tray covered in this video here, but they do have the tray up on one of the discords, and Chell's thing talks about it quite a bit. Getting the buff order correct is extremely important, and if you mess that up, well, that's it. That there is a Thaleron run. And yeah, server performance can have a huge impact also. So while Thaleron definitely hurts, Thaleron is not good for a random person to, chase a DPS to look, and see when they look at the table. But the reality is that it was as bad when the Torp, the Torp runs were up. The 2 to 3 mil runs that have been going on for the past couple of years for Torps have been as unrealistic for people as this Thaleron 13 mil run is. That's why we need solo benchmarks. Absolutely. I'd like for things to happen. We have a new parser that we can base things around with CLA. It doesn't have feature parity with SCM, but it's still pretty good. I like it, but I know it's going to be hard to get people to move away from SCM with just how easy it is to use. And there's also just getting a table set up. I mean, we could do an offline, like a table that's not on the official league. Just have it maintained in just have it maintained on the Discord or something. But the thing is, we've had solo benchmarks before. It's just that Cryptic nuked them. DPS Mark, DPS Under Fire way back were really good in the Foundry, and then Cryptic took them out. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. So there's CLA. Oscar hasn't had any updates in a while, but CLA is a thing, and this is nice because it has a lot of flexibility with things. You can do a light mode on it. You can do light, dark, dark. You can scale the UI to whatever you want, and it's very responsive. The only issue with CLA is that um, I think side by side, I like the interface. To be clear, I like the interface on CLA Combat Log Analyzer, but I think most people are still going to just prefer what SCM has. Yeah. So CLA I think works well. There's a download link for this over in the builds Discord. Um, there is no DPS league, no. But you can get a nice breakdown on things. You can, go in, look at your damage sources. Um, like it's really nice. And the other thing is that people may not like is there's no breakout real-time parser like SCM had. Rather, this entire thing, you can go in the settings here and make it so that the main screen of this itself will automatically refresh when there's changes to your combat log. And you can then change the refresh duration, so you can have it go every 4 seconds, 10, 1. You can set it up however you want. Yeah, I'd like to have. I wish we just had the SCM source code. That would make things so much easier. And I know that there's ways to decrypt it, but the issue is that when Alfie made SCM, part of the worry was people like finding ways to compromise it. So there's a ton of like security features, and I know they can be cracked nowadays. It'd be just easier if I could ever just get that source code. Yeah, I think a real time parser. I think the real time's on like a. I don't know how many times a second it goes, to be honest. I haven't watched the latest Strange New Worlds episode. Yeah, and CLA will work on Linux perfectly fine, like Grim's saying there. It's written in Rust, so this will work on whatever you're using. Where can you get CLA? It is available in. Yeah. Yeah, part of the thing too with SCM is that it was made in like a weekend. So it's also like a CNET or what is it? I forget the exact like language stuff, but the online um C# or whatever, the online components in C#. Okay, where can you download CLA? Um, where? Yeah, you can download CLA in the software part of the builds Discord. It is Combat Log Analyzer. If you go there, there's a pinned message for the download link. Will Cryptic ever add any Prodigy stuff now that it has been canceled and completely removed from Paramount Plus? I don't know, and I imagine if it's been removed from Paramount Plus, that it is probably also there's probably some pretty big legal issues there that may make things rather difficult for them to work around. Yeah, but CLA I think is nice. And we also have to keep in mind Cryptic is working on their own internal parser in the game. I haven't talked about it at all really in depth because right now it's just not good. There are a ton of different commands for it. And I know these other commands have not really been covered. We have this pinned in the general chat in the builds Discord. And this is all originated from a Cryptic dev that shared these on a different Discord. And the issue is that it's all in chat. So it's really just a pain to use. I can show it though real quick. Let's public queue for ISE. Public queue. Here we go. Public queue for infected, the conduit elite, and I'll run the in-game parser just so you guys can see what it looks like. Sam, how's it going? I don't know. There's an engineer. You know, there's an engineer in here, so that should have a tank, right?
Begin by destroying.
I'm quickly losing hope of survivability in this run. Is it just me, or is that I don't recognize that Romulan drone ship appearance? Did they put something new in? That is new. That is absolutely new.
Scanning the nanite trench. Go. Additional data.
Wow, my torque spread misfired right off the bat. I can't believe it. This starts really bad because my torp spread misfired. Again, misfires are when the STO servers are performing absolutely terribly. Those of you not familiar. I'm dead. I have all the threat. This build does not have much survivability, so... And I don't have the Valdor console in my inventory. If I had Valdor on, it would help so much with the survivability, but I did not think to grab it ahead of time. My evasive just misfired. Oh, Stowe. Yeah, I did not bring the survivability for this. You can set up a DPS build with quite a bit of survivability. Just if you don't have the stuff in your inventory when you go in, it could be a bit difficult. So that was rough. Yeah, that was rough. Um, okay. So let's take a look at the data from that thing. So there's a bunch of different commands for that GCL combat stat data thing. If you want to see just your data, then it's GCL combat stat data 100. So I'm going to do that. And then that will be in your system chat. And that is just telling me, what the damage that I did, the DPS. And you can see, like, it's brutal to try and read. Like, you wouldn't use that over something like SCM or CLA right now. Nick, thank you for the 666 Australian man. Much appreciated. So, you're not going to use the current implementation of this thing over the third-party parsers. Until they add an actual user interface to this, it's brutal. So let me do a /clear. And let's try one of the other commands, because there's more than just that. There's also, show only pets. That's a thing. So I can do /that and go to stats here. And this will show all of the pet data. Pretty brutal. Like, you trying to read that is rough. And if you want to just completely overwhelm yourself, you can see only the ability damage or show everything. Let's do that. Vapor, how's it going? That parser just looks like a hassle? Yeah, it is. The built-in one that they've put in right now is just not in a good state. Like, why would like, until they actually put this in, like a good UI that's readable, like, it's just not in a good state. $9.99. HSE next. I don't know if I can do HSE, to be honest with you. I really don't have the survivability for HSE. I need to go repair my ship because it's currently in like a bunch of fragments. Needs commas at the very least. Absolute. Why did I go here? That's the wrong spot. Thank you, Becca. Okay, we're doing HSC, and then I'm having some of this food here. Do I need a 10 million ping tank? That sounds interesting. What I need... Let me see here. One of your Isomag sold? Very nice. Do one more TFO, and then I'm going to eat this food. I'm going to turn the stream off and then eat, to clarify. I'll slap Valdor on. I hope. I mean, that alone will be a huge boost to survivability. 4 phaser Isomag sold. Let's go. Let's get the price up. I need them to be worth a lot more. Okay. 5 Onslaught Elite public queue. Because people don't know about the value of plasma. Plasma is the way forward. How many do I have on the exchange right now? A single one. Yeah, the Immolating Phaser Lance and the Excelsior 2 console are amazing. The event campaign recommendations, the C-Store recommendations are going to be split apart. The C-Store, top C-Store ships is going to be its own video. I don't know if there's a tank. I don't know. Might have an engineer in there. Oh no. Top Zen store do ship Hydra. Also the Bozeman. The Bozeman's really good right now. Because the Bozeman trait is good. The Bozeman, well, the trait's okay. It's situational. You're not going to use it in general use. It takes 2 minutes into the run before you can use the Bozeman trait. So stupid. But the console on that Tachyon Net drones is good. The ship itself, you know, really good. Yeah, you want specifically. There's 2 different Soyuzes for the fleet side. Make sure you're getting the Intel Heavy Frigate one. There's also a pilot one, which is not good. An engineer attack pattern Delta tank. Oh no, I'm worried.
Did you think you had destroyed me? your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
Here we go. There's an HSE. Yeah, I mean the survivability is good. I appreciate the tank in there. Between Warp Core, between you and Grim, you guys got most of it. Hi, Stan, and make sure to link your YouTube account to Discord. It's in your Discord settings, and that'll get you access to the members-only channel. Yeah, 2 tanks. Good job, everyone. Thank you for that. That was a fun run. The Theseus can do damage, but you know, so can like 20 other ships. I haven't even used the Theseus trait or experiment, the trait experimental weapon or console, because you probably shouldn't use them. To be perfectly honest with you. No, not on the builds Discord. The builds Discord, while I am the owner of it, I have tried to keep that on a separate. You know, I have my own like YouTube Discord, and then I have the builds Discord. The builds Discord is more focused on helping the community. The YouTube Discord is, you know, that's about where you can ask me where the event campaign video is. Remind you of the interesting parts of the Theseus. It's a 521 Miracle Worker Destroyer that has 4 engineering consoles and can, you know, get another 2 via universals. So it's a worse FOD Juggernaut. It's got a temporal seat on it instead of intel, and it's got a rather inflexible bridge officer setup. It's the concept is interesting, but like I've said a dozen times, it need to be in the C store and not in the lockbox. You should not buy it. Honestly, if you have the resources to get a ship like this, you're wanting a Miracle Worker do ship, get the Vodwar Juggernaut, get the Inquiry. If you really want to have a 521 Miracle Worker ship, this is basically your only option. Personally, if I was going for a lockbox ship for energy weapons, I would go for the Delkina. I think the Delkina will be a better option for you. Okay. I am going to go eat. So thank you all for tuning in today's stream. Videos soon. Event campaign video. I will get it done when I am able to. Yes, so thank you all for stopping by. Remember, Isomag's definitely the way to go for energy weapons. And 61 Isomag cores for 18 mil each. Yeah, I mean, I need Isomags to go up in value. You know, I may have a few I want to move eventually. Yes, Warp Core, that's what you do. Okay, thank you all, and see you guys around. Where's the end button? Bye.